So we're on one of the famous stages here on the Monte Carlo Rally. Chris is at the wheel of a Hyundai road car, and he'll talk us through the technical side of one of the stages that we're on.
Yeah, basically we're heading up the backside of Turini. In the rally they're actually going to run it the other way. We've come up from Sospel and just through the famous hairpins that you'd recognise from the rally. It's an amazing valley as you come up here, and pretty spectacular. I've actually raced it down the hill that way, and it's fast. You're getting up to 200k an hour down there, and it's a really cool stage. And when you do a good time on here, it feels really good. I can already see some snow up in the mountains in the distance, so there's a fair chance once we get to the top of Turini, there's going to be a bit of snow around. And although now we'd be on a soft slick or even maybe an intermediate tyre with the water around, we're going to be getting some ice up the top, so a really tricky stage, but good fun to drive.
So 200 k's an hour downhill, narrow road, massive drop-offs. The gravity of the challenge must be huge, so tyre selection is obviously critical as well.
Yeah, I think Monte Carlo Rally is probably the most critical rally in the year for tyre selection. Back in the day we had unlimited tyre choice, and you could have a selection of 8 to 10 different types of tyres. You've got studded snow tyres, half studded snow tyres, no studded snow tyres, slicks, intermediates, wets, different compounds, probably even more than 10 choices. But this year they'll only have a choice between studded and non-studded snow tyres, and then the standard WRC soft tarmac tyre. But still, it's a percentage game, and the teams do basically testing on how much they'll lose on the ice, say on a slick versus snow tyre, and how much they'd lose on a snow tyre on the dry or wet, and they'll do a calculation based on the information they got from the stage. So pretty complicated, and you'll see guys this weekend from the sounds of it's quite mixed conditions. So sometimes someone will go on a snow tyre and other people will be going on a slick, and they might lose 30 seconds in the first part of the stage but gain a minute back and then lose another 30 seconds at the end. So it's going to be an exciting rally.
So it's obviously a massive balancing act, and the challenge is not only the roads themselves, but the weather conditions, which are very changeable. So how does a World Rally team go into Monte and prepare themselves, given that it's so changeable?
Like I said, testing is critical. You've got to understand the conditions and how your car and tyre and package works in the conditions, and really do some finite timing on what the differences will be. So you've got to have a car setup that's quite flexible, that you can throw a studded pair of tyres in the front and slicks on the rear, or run them diagonally and know how that's going to operate. So you're definitely not running a full tarmac car here. As we go over this bridge, I remember coming down here probably 2007, and what you find is on the bridges early in the morning you get ice on the bridges as well. So the drivers have to write that in their pace notes and understand where those sections are, because you'd be flat out down this section and then all of a sudden there'll be ice on the road. So you've got to really build that experience over the years and understand what's coming up and the different sections of the stage, and obviously a famous stage like this, everyone knows the tricky places normally.
Chris, you're here in 2014, not competing, but you're one of the Hyundai World Rally Team drivers. You finished on the podium in this rally. You know what it takes to be fast. You still hold, I think, 2 stage records on this rally. You know, it must be one of your favourite rallies of the calendar.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have had bad records here, but for some reason it's been one of my best rallies. The first time I did it, I think we finished 6th, and when we finished 4th and 3rd 2 other times, where most people have a record of usually not finishing their first 3 times at Monte Carlo because of the conditions. So it is a special rally, and a shame I'm not doing it, but obviously I'm sure Danny and Thierry will do a good job for Hyundai, and we'll look forward to some other races later in the year.
And Hyundai haven't really announced their full driver program for the second car. Have you got any indication of when you'll be told, you know, if you're doing more rallies outside Rallius Road?
I think it's going to change throughout the year, so nothing's set in stone. Obviously, the more rallies I can do, the better. Danny is a tarmac expert and's been on the podium several times here before, so that's probably his allocation. And then we'll look at Juho and myself for some of the gravel rallies, but obviously Danny can go well on gravel as well. But it's great to have that amount of experience in the team. We've got great depth, and I think huge advantage over other teams in terms of how we'll improve over the year and building towards the future.
Monte Carlo, there's a mystique with this rally. What do you put it down to, Chris? Is it the tradition? The first rally was in 1911, a long time ago. What is it about Monte that everyone in the rally world just gets so excited about?
I think it is that heritage. I think on my list of goals in the championship, and the same as the Monaco Grand Prix, you want to be on the podium at rallies like Monte Carlo and Finland. I think they stand out as the two premium ones, and they're just such challenging events and have such history, and so many famous names have come here and competed and won, and there's been so many great battles here as well, and if you're on the podium at one of those events, you've done something special, and it's just the atmosphere. You see the stage as we drive through it, the crowds will be lining it, the area up the top of Trini. You've got spectators throwing snow on the road, trying to send cars off. You've got a whole array of things going on. There'll be a big party all through the night from all the fans, and the atmosphere is incredible, and just to be part of that's amazing.